Not in the way you think. Not with eyes fixed on your every move. Not with judgment or expectation. But it is watching. Because the moment you decide to change your life, the universe shifts. It tilts ever so slightly, as if aligning itself to your heartbeat. That decision, the one that burns inside you like a fire you can't put out, that's the spark, not the achievement, not the accolades, not the applause. The spark is you, choosing to believe that success isn't reserved for someone else. That greatness doesn't come from luck, timing, or circumstance. It comes from you. From the first breath of clarity after years of confusion. From the single step forward when every muscle in your body wants to retreat from the choice to stop waiting for permission and start living as if you already deserve everything you want. Because here's the truth. You do. You were born worthy, but somewhere along the way, the world tried to convince you otherwise. Teachers told you you weren't good enough. Parents said you should be realistic. Friends laughed at your dreams. Society handed you a script and told you to follow it without question. And maybe you did. Maybe you played small for years. Maybe you buried your ambitions under layers of doubt, fear, and compromise. Maybe you convinced yourself that peace was more important than purpose, comfort more valuable than courage. But something changed. Something inside. You shifted. You saw someone who looked like you rise above the noise and do what they were told they couldn't. You read a quote that struck a nerve. You heard a story that made you sit up straighter. Or maybe you just woke up one morning and realized that if you keep going the way you are, you'll never get where you want to go. So now you're here, standing at the edge of a new beginning. And this voice you're hearing, this voice narrating, your thoughts echoing in your chest, it's not mine, it's yours. It's the part of you that's been whispering all along, begging you to listen. This is your moment. This is the moment you decide that success begins. The moment you decide you're worthy, not tomorrow. Not when you lose the weight, get the job, fix the relationship, find the right partner, save the money, or grow the business. Right now, here in the quiet of your mind, surrounded by the noise of your past, standing in the shadow of your doubts, but still daring to dream. Let's walk together. Let's build a life, not from luck, but from intention, from belief, from action, from the raw, unfiltered power of a human being who finally sees themselves clearly, not through the eyes of others, but through their own. There is a force within you that has no equal. It doesn't need validation. It doesn't require approval. It doesn't wait for permission. It simply is. And it's been there since the day you were born. Think about the people who shaped history. Edison, Carnegie, Lincoln, Ford, Disney, Mandela, Curie, Jobs, King. They didn't become legends because they had more talent, more resources, or more time. They became legends because they refused to accept the limits placed upon them. They chose to see beyond what was possible. They believed in something greater than their current reality. And most importantly, they acted. Every single one of them failed repeatedly, publicly, painfully. Edison was fired from his first job. Carnegie was once a poor immigrant, working 16-hour days. Lincoln lost election after election before becoming president. Ford went bankrupt 5 times before building an empire. Walt Disney was fired for lacking creativity and spent years sleeping on floors before building a kingdom of imagination. These men and women didn't have some magical formula for success. They had something far more powerful. They had mindset, a mindset forged in struggle, refined in failure, and sharpened by relentless determination. Your mindset is your foundation. It's the lens through which you see the world. It determines whether you view obstacles as roadblocks or stepping stones, whether you interpret rejection as finality or redirection, whether you see effort as punishment or progress. Most people live their lives trapped in what Napoleon Hill called the poverty consciousness, a belief system rooted in lack, limitation, and low self-worth. They expect little, accept less, and blame the world for their results. But you're different. You've felt the stirrings of something deeper. You've tasted the bitterness of regret and decided you won't settle for it anymore. You've seen glimpses of your potential and refused to look away. That's the first step toward transformation, recognizing that your mindset is not fixed. It's fluid. It's malleable. It can be reshaped, reprogrammed, rebuilt. And the greatest tool you have to do that. Belief, not wishful thinking. Not vague hope, not empty positivity, but deep, unwavering, unshakable belief. Belief in your ability to learn, to grow, to overcome. Belief in the idea that you are capable of more than you've allowed yourself to imagine. Belief that the person you are today is not the person you will be tomorrow. This is not fantasy. This is physics, energy. Follows thought. What you believe becomes your reality. So ask yourself, what do I believe about myself? Do I believe I'm worthy of love, of success, of happiness? Do I believe I can create the life I want? Or do I secretly fear that I don't deserve it? Because the answers to those questions determine the trajectory of your life. And until you confront them honestly, you will remain stuck in the gravitational pull of your past. So, let's break free. Let's rewrite the narrative. Let's replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones. Let's stop telling ourselves we're not ready, not smart enough, not experienced enough, not rich enough, not connected enough, because none of that matters. What matters is your belief that you can, your belief that you will, your belief that you are enough, exactly as you are, and yet constantly evolving. That's the power of mindset. And once you master it, nothing can hold you back. Clarity is the catalyst of change. Without it, ambition is just noise. Desire is just longing. Vision is just fantasy. Clarity cuts through the fog. It gives shape to your dreams, direction to your actions, purpose to your journey. But clarity doesn't come from external validation. It doesn't arrive in a viral video, a motivational poster, or a TED Talk. It emerges from within through reflection, introspection, and honest questioning. Ask yourself, what do I truly want? Not what your parents wanted for you. Not what society expects from you. Not what your peers are chasing. What do you want and why? Why does it matter to you? What would achieving it mean about you? About your capabilities, your worth, your place in the world? These aren't easy questions. In fact, they might terrify you, because clarity demands responsibility. Once you know what you want, you can no longer pretend ignorance. Once you understand why it matters, you can no longer justify inaction. Clarity forces you to choose, to commit, to show up to fight . And that's why most people avoid it. They'd rather live in confusion than face the discomfort of knowing exactly what they want and realizing they haven't gone after it. But you're not most people. You're here because you've already begun the process of peeling back the layers. You've started asking the hard questions. You've dared to imagine a life that excites you. And now you're ready to define it. So, take a moment, close your eyes, breathe deeply, and picture the version of yourself that you admire most. What are they doing? How do they feel? Where are they? Who are they with? What impact are they making? Now open your eyes. That vision, that image, is not a distant dream. It's a destination, and destinations are reached through direction. Clarity gives you direction. Vision gives you motivation. Purpose gives you fuel. So don't settle for vague aspirations. Define what success looks like to you, not to the world, not to your past, but to your soul. Because once you have that clarity, everything changes. Decisions become easier. Distractions fall away. Doubt loses its grip. And suddenly, the path forward becomes visible, one step at a time, toward the life you've always known you were meant to live. Vision is the compass of the soul. It doesn't tell you every turn you'll make, every challenge you'll face, or every detour you'll encounter, but it does one thing better than anything else. It tells you where to go. Without vision, even the strongest mindset and clearest intentions will falter, because vision is the bridge between who you are and who you're becoming. It's the silent voice that whispers, "Keep going," when fatigue sets in. The invisible flame that keeps burning when everyone else turns back. The internal GPS that recalculates when life throws you off course. History is filled with people who had talent, discipline, and opportunity, but only a few became legends. Why? Because they had vision. They saw beyond the present moment. They imagined a future so vividly, so completely, that it pulled them forward. Henry Ford didn't just want to build cars. He wanted to revolutionize transportation. Walt Disney didn't just want to draw cartoons. He wanted to build a world where dreams came true. Nelson Mandela didn't just want freedom. He wanted reconciliation, unity, and healing. Their visions were bigger than themselves, and so must yours be. Because vision isn't about personal gain alone. It's about contribution. It's about legacy. It's about creating something that outlives you. So ask yourself, what do I want to leave behind? What kind of mark do I want to make? Who do I want to inspire? What problems do I want to solve? What ideas do I want to bring into the world?